Hi guys, so in this review I'm going to be covering and outlining every aspect of the RIU Republica hotel here in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, as well as giving my critical thoughts on everything, and this is as of September 2019. So the areas that I'm going to be covering are the hotel and its facilities, a room tour, food and restaurants, giving my critical opinion on all of the restaurants here, and finally entertainment, followed by my overall review of everything. If there's anything you want to know or anything that I've missed out, please put it in the comments and I'll reply to it. And I'll also be putting time codes in the description and in the comments so you can skip to whichever part most interests you, because I know this is going to be quite a long review. And finally, before I do get into everything, if you do want to find out more about just holidaying in general in the Dominican Republic and all the excursions you can do, please check out my web series 4 Idiots. I've been shooting a big film for it out here just about the whole holiday in general, and you can basically find out a lot more information, certainly about excursions, and a lot more detail than what this review covers. So firstly, the hotel itself. The RIU Republica is an adults-only hotel, officially rated 5-star, and is situated right next to the Cana Bay beach. Here's the map you'll be given upon arrival, so feel free to pause and have a good look. So I'll just run over its facilities, starting with the beach. I've found that the beach is very well maintained and the sand itself is exactly how it should be. There's lots of sunbeds and shade. The only thing is that the sea can be very choppy, especially now, which is basically the peak of hurricane season. A lot of days I've been here, there's been a red flag up, which has prevented water sports, of which the hotel does offer a few free things, such as sailing and kayaking. There are a few people trying to sell you stuff on the beach, as well as people with animals like parrots and monkeys, but there aren't like loads of them. So moving on away from the beach, the hotel has 8 pools and 9 bars, as well as a mini water park, which unfortunately I haven't got any footage of because you're not allowed to film in it, as well as not being allowed to have jewellery and other stuff. There are a range of pools, including a sports pool with a volleyball net, a party pool, some quiet pools, and a few pools with bars in them. These are equipped with built-in tables, chairs and sun lounges, and play your typical remixy, Latin, clubby type music. I'll be covering that in further detail later, with all of the entertainment of the pools and stuff like that. Around the main lobby bar in the centre, you've got a shop and photography place. The prices in the shop are very, very expensive, like a small suitcase for $128 or a volleyball for $38. On the other side of this, you've got the spa, which I believe is also quite expensive. And then you've got the main entertainment theatre, as well as a nightclub thing which opens at 11 p.m. There's also a customer service desk in the lobby area, and all of your sort of reps will be available at certain times of the day in the entertainment theatre. Also in this area is a doctor, which is the first place to go if you're injured or unwell. Up from the lobby, there's a main reception with the drop-off and pick-up points. Check-in time is 3 p.m. onwards and check-out time is 12 p.m. There's also a luggage room next to the reception. And then beyond reception, you can find gyms. The actual rooms are spread all over in blocks. The hotel is new. I think it was built in 2016, but the area towards the back is slightly newer. And isn't always fully open depending on the time of year. Wi-Fi is available for free throughout the hotel, and the connection is decent. One thing I do want to praise this hotel for is I put in a request, because I'm here with 5 other people, I put in a request to have rooms situated near to each other or next to each other, and they did actually listen to my request, so praise to them for that. So this is the rooms. I've just got a standard twin room, 2 double beds. I love the fact how they come with a sofa. The balcony is fairly basic though. The TV has cable, which to be honest is a pretty low quality connection, but the TVs do also have a USB port, so you can bring your own stuff to watch. The AC control is here, our air conditioning works fine. There's a fridge in there with a free mini bar, which is topped up every other day. tea and coffee making facilities there. And then in here is a wardrobe with a free to use safe. Make sure to put all of your valuables in here. There's also an ironing board there. In the toilet you've got a his and her sink, the toilet itself, and a large walk-in shower. No bath though. The shower works well, but the temperatures aren't always consistent. So overall, I do like the rooms, but there's nothing really that special about them, and I sometimes do forget that I'm in a 5-star hotel just purely for the rooms themselves. There is a big problem with key cards wiping themselves just randomly, so just bear that in mind. The rooms do seem fairly noise proof, until you get some noisy neighbours. Like the other morning, I had to go out onto the balcony at 2 AM because there was some really noisy people having a party next door, and I had to tell them to quieten down. You do also get a bit of noise from the corridor, again, especially if people are being loud. The only other criticisms I've got towards the rooms are that the beds aren't quite as comfortable as what I'd like them to be. And if you aren't 100% comfortable with the person who you're staying with, that window there basically enables you to see an outline of someone in the shower. So it's very blurred, but just bear that in mind if you're not 100% comfortable with who you're staying with. In terms of cleaning, you can get your room cleaned every day along with changing of towels. You will receive a towel card here, which you can deposit in order to get pool and beach towels. Moving on to restaurants, which is my favourite bit, although it doesn't really look like it because I'm pretty anorexic. I do really love food, which was one of the reasons why I chose this hotel, because it has 7 different restaurants, all included with your all-inclusive package, as well as a jerk chicken shack near the beach, which is open for lunch. The restaurant count actually reaches 10, but a few of them are duplicates. So first I'll start off with the main buffet. This serves an international range of food and sometimes has theme nights as well, such as Asian. The lunch and dinner do vary slightly, so you're not getting all of the same stuff, but there is always an Italian station in the bottom right corner, and for lunch there always seems to be a Mexican station. In the centre you've got loads of salad, cheese, cold meat and fruit stuff, and there's a bread station over to one side. For breakfast there's a cereal station and a smoothie station, and an omelette station where I believe you can have your own omelettes made, as well as a station with crepes, churros, waffles, pancakes and cookies. There's plenty of sweet stuff like muffins and croissants, as well as all your fruit and yogurt. You can get yourself a pretty decent English breakfast, although the bacon is crap in my opinion, because it's just the fatty streaky stuff, not back bacon. There's usually plenty of Heinz branded tomato ketchup, as well as mayo and mustard. Aside from this though, there isn't really any other good sauces. One thing this hotel really does lack is garlic. I'm a massive garlic addict, and I've been very disappointed here with this. Overall in the main restaurant, some of the food is quite tasteful and well seasoned, but other things really do lack seasoning, especially some of the meat like chicken, steak and pork chops. There's been a few times that the food has been dry or overcooked, and sometimes it can be very inconsistent. My overall highlight would probably be the pizzas, and the fact that sometimes I have been able to find few English things like potato smileys and onion rings, which shows that the hotel has actually went into some depth about their clientele. The next restaurant along is the Asian. This was extremely disappointing to me, unfortunately, as the only thing that I found to be worthy of a typical Chinese buffet were the spring rolls and possibly the prawn crackers. Anything which has any amount of soy sauce, such as noodles, rice and meat, was absolutely soaked to hell in the stuff, making everything really black and salty. I'm not a fan of Japanese stuff like sushi, but my mate said that it was quite nice, and they seem to enjoy the restaurant a bit more than me. It's similar, unfortunately, with the Indian restaurant. You're just not going to get what you expect in a typical Indian restaurant or curry house. You'd usually get your pompadom tray with your dips, and then your starters like onion bhajis, and then your mains and dessert. Here there's a buffet for starters, which doesn't really have anything particularly great. No onion barges or anything like that, for example. And then for mains, you can't actually choose what you get. There's just 4 dishes on the menu which they bring you to sample. A fish curry, tandoori chicken, red lamb curry and a lentil curry, which come with just plain basmati rice. Despite the lack of choice and the fact that it wasn't similar to a UK Indian's, I did quite like everything, although it just was generally just more runny and less saucy than what you'd expect. And the tandoori chicken didn't really have a lot of meat on. One good thing to note about all the restaurants here though is the design and appearance of everything, which makes for an enjoyable dining experience. The service is usually always good as well. Moving on to the Steakhouse restaurant, which is just beside the main buffet. I personally quite like this. The flavours of everything were good, especially the burger which I chose. In contrast to the other restaurants though, the main problem that I had with this one was the service and dining experience rather than the actual taste of the food. 3 of us ordered burgers. I ordered a well done one, and basically I got a medium rare, and the person who ordered the medium rare got more of a well done one. So I don't think the staff did a good job of noting whose was whose. One of us also ordered steak, which came as rare when they asked for medium. And the other thing with the Steakhouse as well is there isn't really a lot of choice on the menu, and I don't think the steaks actually came with any sauces. Next up is the Kulinarium. So this is meant to be a fine dining experience. Therefore, the food is rather bizarre to someone like me. However, I did quite enjoy this restaurant, I think probably because I had nothing to compare it to. You can take a look at the menu here. Along with the Steakhouse, this is the only one which is completely a la carte, no buffet. We did go back there actually last night and the service wasn't as good, and they did mix up our steaks like in the Kulinarium. So what I would suggest is just cut into your steak before you actually start eating it, and make sure you have got the one that you want, because at the end of the day this hotel is massive and they're trying to cater for so many different people that there is a lot of inconsistencies, and I don't think everyone is going to have quite the same dining experience. Moving on to the Italian restaurant, which unfortunately really annoyed me. The choice of the Italian in the main restaurant is quite good. So I was expecting this, but even better. When I took a look around the buffet though, there was hardly anything which wasn't already at the main restaurant, apart from meat and fish. And I would actually go as far as saying that the choice of pasta was even more limited than at the main restaurant. The biggest letdown though, nothing whatsoever which contained or seemed to contain garlic. No garlic bread and not really any garlic seasoning on anything. On a positive side though, as I've previously mentioned, most of the general Italian stuff like pizzas are really good. Finally, the Spanish restaurant. This was also a letdown. The paella there was mixed, so it just reeked of seafood, and there wasn't a one with only meat. There was some decent stuff and the decor is nice, but other than that it was a bit disappointing. You do get to pick like a choice of 3 things which can come as a main course, but these were pretty strange to be honest and didn't really jump out to me as being particularly Spanish. In all the buffet restaurants you can get a range of desserts such as cakes, cheesecakes, sundaes, and there are nearly always the same 6 ice cream flavours available. In terms of food, the only other thing which I haven't mentioned is that there is 24-hour burgers, hot dogs, sandwiches and nachos available in the sports bar, and the Jerk Chicken Shack near the beach, which serves jerk chicken, hot dogs, buns and salad, is quite good. People seem to like it. In all the restaurants you can get water, wine, beer, Pepsi, orange, fruit punch, 7-Up and more. The waiters are plentiful and will always get you your drinks. If you're celebrating a birthday whilst you're there, they will place balloons on your table and bring you a special cake delivered by a loud parade of Hispanic drummers. So moving on to the entertainment, you aren't really short on anything here. On the lead up to the beach you have volleyball and 5-a-side nets, and in the bar next to this they have activities such as bingo. In the pool next to this, there's also activities such as aerobics. And then next to this, near the other pools, you've got like dart boards and kind of meditation type things, whatever, fitness, well-being type stuff. I've been told from someone else that September is quite quiet compared to other times of the year, such as February. So whilst we've been here, the party pool I don't think has actually been in use. You can, however, go to a pool party at the main RIU resort, which is featured in part 2 of the 40th film that I've shot here. And there are neon parties as well, which aren't pool parties, but they play the same sort of music as the pool parties that you can go to, and they're just basically massive, great big fun raves. I personally quite like them. Aside from this and the main entertainment theatre, you have your sort of typical hotel acts such as magic, dancing, and circus type stuff. The club is included in your package and opens from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. In my opinion, it doesn't play particularly great music, and it can be dead dependent on the amount of people and how lively they are. Next to the club is a 24-hour sports bar, which has stuff like pool and air hockey. These do require chips though, which you have to purchase. The bars here all serve the same drinks, and you can take a look at the menu now. You've obviously got RIU's cocktail range that you can find in all their other resorts, as well as non-alcoholic stuff, martinis, liqueurs, long drinks and all your beer and wine. You can get branded stuff here, and if you happen to want non-alcoholic stuff, the mixture of things like the strawberry daiquiris and the pina coladas are non-alcoholic, so you can just ask for them to not add the alcohol in it. And I've found the drinks to be quite good. However, a lot of them are in a slush form, which I know for some people will be annoying. So overall, I do like this hotel, and I've got a lot to praise about it. I've previously stayed at the RIU Boa further down the beach, and this is definitely better. The rooms are good, the beach is good, the pools, bars, staff and entertainment are good. However, I do have a lot to criticise, especially about the food. Don't get me wrong, nearly all of the food is edible and somewhat enjoyable, but do not come here expecting that you will get, certainly in the UK, what you are expecting. Overall, I would give this hotel a 4 out of 5 rating. It definitely does have the facilities of a 5-star, especially with the restaurant count, but at times, especially with the quality of the food, it doesn't always feel like one. So yeah, if there is anything I've missed out, which I'm sure there probably will be, leave whatever questions you have in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you want to go on and check out the whole holiday in general of what it's like coming to the Dominican Republic, as well as the excursions, please check out 4 Idiots, which will be linked in the description and here somewhere. And yeah, other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been helpful for you. If you do like it, make sure to give it a share. And yeah, thanks for watching.